Boston Children's Chorus has long been known locally for inclusion and rousing performances. In recent years, the chorus has been trying to take those qualities to a higher level by extending its embrace of musical cultures, but also this summer through a series of free outdoor events in Boston's parks in collaboration with the city and the Friends of the Public Garden. To tell us about the series is the conductor with the chorus and the person in charge of the series, Krystal Morin. Thank you very much for being with us, Krystal.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here.
Krystal, first of all, what about the excitement of this part of the pathway back to live in-person performance? How does it feel for you?
It feels really awesome to have things on the schedule that are bringing community together in person, outdoors, kind of celebrating the opportunity to be together after a long time of being isolated and distance and, only being able to connect, online or over Zoom.
Of course, the chorus, that we usually know in Boston, we see these performances by young people. A lot of the times we're astounded at how good they are at such an early age, and even when they're not at such an early age. But at the same time, well, what's the difference here? Because it sounds like we're talking about bringing in people who don't go through all these rehearsals. What's that going to be like? What's the purpose, really?
Yeah, the whole goal of this series is to create community, to be in community with various neighborhoods across Boston. It's part of our mission to connect the diverse communities within Boston to come together. And that is the exact goal of this, to bring folks together and to create music, to be in community through the act of creation. And so we are asking anybody of any skill level and experience to come and join us for some fun making music and joyous celebration, and to experience, what BCC is all about, the ways that we operate, in terms of the ways that we engage with music and social conversation, and the ways that we build community within our organization, bringing that outwards to open more people up to that experience.
Well, you're scheduled to be in a number of Boston neighborhoods as well as one location in Chelsea, but you're not just coming in cold and telling people to sing. You're actually teaming up with community organizations. What's going on with that exactly?
Yes, we're teaming up with a local partner in each organization. The Friends of the Public Garden is sponsoring this whole series, and with their support, we're able to go into these 5 different neighborhoods, including Chelsea, as you mentioned, and find a partner. For example, Chelsea Public Schools in Chelsea, or the base in Roxbury, and we are kind of using these partnerships to connect ourselves to youth within that community, to help us spread the news of these events and to work with them to see what kind of offering we can create together that will really be appealing and really be engaging to their specific community.
What about what people are going to be doing at these events? I mean, certainly the main thing is the singing, but there will be other things going on as well, won't there?
Yes, yeah, we plan a few games along the way, time for socializing, and there'll also be some prizes. We are going to be raffling off $50 gift certificates to a local restaurant, and we're also hoping to have another set of exciting prizes that I won't be able to announce just yet at each of the events. So yeah, singing, games, socializing, prizes.
Well, I know over the past year, a lot of organizations have made these pivots toward racial reckoning or equity. But noticed about the Boston Children's Chorus, this happened before the pandemic. Anything you can talk about this sort of a new focus in the strategic plan?
For this series in particular?
Well, even before the series, this is a whole, far-reaching plan by the organization to get more serious about equity, inclusion, even, incentivizing some new works to change the repertoire.
Yeah, the founder of Boston Children's Chorus, Hubie Jones, really, created this organization as a way to connect the diverse communities in Boston. And so that's always been core to our mission, is to bring people of diverse race, ethnic, religions, and various other backgrounds and identities together, and to cultivate, empathy and social inquiry, understanding through the act of music making. So that's always been core to what we're doing. And in the recent the recent year with the pandemic, and particularly uprising related to the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and this kind of national conversation about racial injustice and inequality and systemic racism, we have just renewed our commitment and looked more deeply at ways that we might be perpetuating harm.
By the way, in your own background, you've been involved with the prison arts program run by
Mhm.
BU. How has
Yeah.
that shaped your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, music is such a powerful tool, and I think that for me, my involvement with the BU Prison Arts Program has just really opened my eyes to ways that we can use music to empower individuals. And really, music can be a space for healing. And there are certain ways that music cannot be those things. And it's really important the ways that we create a welcoming community, we create spaces for people to feel empowered by kind of not making a divide of I'm the musician and performer, I'm talented and you're not, but really engaging folks to say you have something to say, you have something to share, you have a voice, and we can help you, shape that voice in a specific way based on musical training, but we can also just use music to connect and to share.
Well, talking about sharing, one way you've done this for a long time is by just providing the opportunity for more young people to get involved. A lot of people watching this might say they think they have to be really, really good at the outset to join, but you're really actually reaching out to people who are maybe just like average kids. I mean, what do they need to know if they want to check out the possibilities of getting involved in the chorus?
These events are really designed to help folks who might not know BCC or might have zero experience with singing experience what it would be like to be involved with the organization and what we have to offer. And so come to the event, number one, come join us, see what we're all about, and then have conversations with us while we're there. We're able to do evaluations on site. If a family says, we have people who want to be in your organization, like let's have a conversation, we can do an evaluation, which is basically just a way for us to hear that person sing individually and say, okay, I hear that you have already developed these skills, or you need to develop these skills. We'll place you in the right choir. Because really, we have a home for everybody at BCC. Everybody who wants to sing and be a part of our community has a place.
Well, I know this is an ensemble that has toured the world, but at the same time, you're offering kids in Boston an opportunity that they might not be able to get if they had to pay for it entirely themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, with our model, we have pay what you're able, and we have lots of different levels of support so that some folks are supporting at a level based on their income that is able to contribute beyond just their individual member, and other folks who are receiving financial assistance so that they can be included in the organization and be a part with at a payment level that works for them. We have a lot of our singers funded through scholarship programs in which we also do lots of development and fundraising to support as well.
Well, we know what kids get out of this musically because we've heard it, but at the same time, what about the experience, just the social experience, contacts, friendships? What's that like for these kids? Because they're meeting people from parts of the city where they don't usually spend much time.
Yeah, we believe in the real power of that connection. And so it's important to us that we build in time for conversation. We build in time to get to know one another through games, through specific kind of reflection activities. And so we incorporate those things into our regular rehearsal structures, and we'll be incorporating them into these series of events so that we can start to connect folks and seeing what unites us, what can we learn from each other's perspectives.
By the way, we should mention if people want more information about the series, which begins in July and runs through almost the middle of August, where can they get more details on that?
BostonChildren'sChorus.org.
Okay,
And
well,
thanks for
thank you.
asking.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you so much, Chris.
That was Krystal Morin from the Boston Children's Chorus.